All right, so hey, how's it going? Ken at Kannaydia Farms here. So I'm working on something. I wanted to show it to you, and it's called a high tank. All right. So a high tank is like a pool or a pond or whatever, but it's put up on the high point of the property, so that way you can use gravity to do most of the work to move it down into the farm there. So this is just started. That's my tractor there. I got it from my neighbor. It's used, but it works, and it's got all the tools. Got the backhoe and the scoop there on the loader. But I didn't want to go overboard because I haven't discovered all the kinks in it yet. And its capabilities. So this is just like 2 hours of work scooping this dirt out here. I got this big stump that I got to get out with a backhoe. Yeah, I just did like 2 hours of digging here with the front scoop mostly, and we had a big storm 2 days ago, or actually yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning, last night. No, not last night, the night before, and yesterday morning. And you can see with this darker line here where the water was up last night. So probably like an inch higher. But we're still holding some water down there in the bottom. I just want to see how long that'll last for. Of course, the deeper you go, the better, the longer it'll hold water. But being in a high point, it's eventually going to want to seep into the ground and go elsewhere. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. It's a high tank, and this whole area, it might make it a little bigger, but eventually I want to hold water here and build a water tower in the middle of it, so that you can pump the water up into some tanks so it's even higher. Yeah, and then once the tanks are full, then this fills up and have some water when we got drought, because that's my number one issue: water. I got this little well over here, and if I use it to water crops, it'll be out in a couple of hours. So yeah, Kannaydia Farms, we're getting there. Maybe one day I'll do the dishes, who knows. So yeah, so I got this, speaking of water, so I've got this here, so that you take that gray water. I'm going to fill some gravel in underneath here, and it goes down and eventually flood out into the garden there. It's not a lot of water, but and when you have water problems, you save as much of it as you can. So yeah, that's what's going on. Just did a bunch of planting. Oh, look at this potato, Mr. Potato. Get down in there. Yeah, potatoes and beans, and ooh, well, somebody dug a hole right there. Somebody must have come in and tried to eat my potatoes and peppers. Well, that's okay. It happens. But beans, potatoes, this is some of the dirt that I scooped out of there, and then I threw some compost on top of it, and some straw. And there's leaves and sticks on the bottom. Even though most of this is clay, should be able to grow some stuff in it. We'll see what happens. This is turning into a tour. 2005 spring tour. This is my blueberry bush. It's getting bushier. I had to add some acidity to the soil, which was preventing it from thriving. My broadleaf sage, this is my champion right here, man. This thing, it's, you can use this stuff to brush your teeth with. It's great. That thing's been going like a champ. I used to have some horseradish there, a big old horseradish, but apparently I don't know, moles or something got into the ground and they ate it. Bastards. We've got grapevines here which haven't sprouted yet because it's still too cold. I planted strawberries in this corner, but they haven't really taken. We'll see what happens this year with that. I've got, these are raspberry bushes. I don't know if you can see. In the corner here, two different varieties of raspberry. And what I'll do, like we've got these escapees. So I'll end up like this one here. And what we'll do is we'll end up cutting those off because they've already made new roots, and we'll move them further down the line here. This is the asparagus, and we got beets and garlic. Pro tip, if you want to plant stuff with your asparagus, plant beets are best because they're red. And if you have too much green stuff, like I had cilantro in here, and this was a big problem. You won't be able to see the asparagus when it sprouts up. Super annoying. And you will miss your asparagus. So plant stuff of it that's not green over there. What do we got over here? Beets and radishes. Haven't really caught, just starting to come up, but you know, they come up fast, but I just planted those. We got more garlic, carrots, and then I'm starting to forget turnips and lettuces. This is where the lettuces are starting to come up. Yeah, just starting. But I like mustard greens. I grow a lot of those. I'm out of arugula. I grow romaine and some other varieties. And then this over here, we're still working on filling this last one out. You can see we just got the charcoal there, and I need to add some more dirt and do a compost layer on the top. I'm not sure what I'll plant over here. Probably some more carrots or mustard greens. I like both of those a lot. And then over here, we're gonna put another blueberry bush like over on the other side, but I gotta build the frame out for it. So haven't done that yet. I build these little boxes. I'll show you the box I built over here. So I was growing in these rows before, and it's not as effective in mountain soil as having these big beds that are made with, wattle. But yeah, so these boxes, these are nice if I'm gonna do like a fruit bush or like a tree or something. I build these out of pallets, pallet wood. I just kind of zap off two ends and then add in some more boards. Yes, the place is still a mess and will be until I get the barn finished. So yeah, like I said, we're turning into a tour. Let's go say hi to the rabbits. Hello, rabbits. Hello, rabbits. So this is the rabbit colony here. This is free roaming to a certain degree within their little colony. It's really healthy. All these rabbits are super healthy in here. I rarely have problems. These are all boys, so they don't have sex or make babies. And yeah, it's just, just to keep them. It's also caged in on the top, just to keep them protected from predators. And over here, these are the breeders. LaBouffe, I'm afraid you may have gotten too fat because you haven't had any babies in a while. Or maybe you just don't like your girl. I don't know. Hello. And then down here, hello, this is Skunk. Hi, Skunk. And these guys don't have names yet, but they're a couple months old. And over here, now these guys are really tiny. I don't even know if you can see them back there. Yes, Fluffernutter, I see you. You're blocking the camera, you. Okay, Fluffernutter is a freaking porn star, let me tell you. This guy puts out more kids than anybody. It's nuts. That's Gabrielle. And the mama over here, that's Xena. And I gave them those names because I caught them having sex with each other. And they're both ladies. They're both ladies, so I named them Xena and Gabrielle. And we're working on another hutch here. This is so when the babies get big, like about the size they are now, we're going to put them into this hutch so that they're separated from their mama. Those guys are still in there because I haven't finished building it yet. What else is going on? I mean, we are doing a tour, right? So let's do the tour. So there's some blackberries that grew into the fence, and I'm trying to leave them so that we have blackberries. This is the compost system. This is one gets full, and then once one gets full, it gets moved over to the other one, which is the process I'm in right now, unless I'm also putting it in the garden, which I am. But about done with that for right now. So this stuff will go into here, and that turns everything over and mixes it up, and I add in a little bit of fresh stuff with it, because when you already have compost, it composts faster. The bacteria is already there and present and doing its thing. Yeah, the freshest stuff goes on the bottom, the oldest stuff goes on top. The weight helps press down on it. Over here, and this is something I'm going to do with the rest of the dirt from the tank. So we're on a hill here. You can see my neighbor who's got the real beautiful pond over there. Look at that thing. Yeah, that's all the water that runs off of my property over there. So what I'm trying to do is build these, they call these hugel mounds. And they're, old fallen wood, rotten wood that's piled up into, like a little, whatever you call it, a barrier. And then you pile up topsoil, dirt, compost and stuff into that, on top of that, and make these mounds. They're called hugel mounds. And as the water comes down, they hit the mound and it gets collected and soaks into there. And if it makes it through, it goes down to the next one and the next one. I was doing, I don't know the term, but I'm going to call them Indian mounds. They're what Native Americans were using. And that would be great if it was on a flat surface, but on the hill, they were ineffective, which is why I switched over to the hugel mounds. Everything on this property was forest. This was all forest I'm standing in right now. And so, yeah, I've been coming through and trying to blast out as much of the roots for these, you know, saplings that sprout up all over the place. I don't really mind the saplings because what I'll do is I'll cut them once they're full of leaves and feed them to the rabbits. They love it. But I don't want saplings where my hugel mound's going to be, so trenched it out. And next would be, I got to flat level grade it a little bit with some dirt, and then put the tree limbs down, you know, stuff like this, you know, old stuff. Not new stuff, because the new stuff can decide it wants to live, and then you've got trees where your garden is not what you want. But I think, yeah, this is all the trees I want to cut down because they help give some privacy from the neighbor here. You know, they don't need to see me peeing. Yeah, so I started one here, and these are on top of a bunch of rose bush trimmings, so roses should be sprouting up out of this one. And so I'm gonna start in the back here, get this area here. All these trees and stuff over here are ones I planted to help with the privacy. I put in these evergreens so that during the winter my neighbors and I can have a little more privacy. But yeah, I also have a bunch of flowers planted back here. So what do you call them? The foxgloves that I just found, and I just, you know, broke them up and planted them around. And so I'm gonna put in that barrier there, and then I'm gonna grow tamandarins. It's a fruit, or a bean. I guess it's more of a bean. It's a fruity bean. It's a bean with a fruity flesh. I don't know. It's not really a bean because you can't eat the seeds. They're trees, and they have pods, and you can eat what's in the pod. Tamandarin. They're popular and outside the United States. But yeah, so that's the plan with that. These are roses as well, right there. Yeah, I do have this kudzu that wants to climb up the side of my fence. That's a bit of a battle. Let's go down this way. What's going on down here? So originally I was going to build a chicken coop down here. Was my plan. In this area right here. This is a good, it's not a good spot for free range chickens. That's the problem. So that's my neighbor's fence line there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's too close. And if I have chickens or birds over here, I'm that close to the fence line, there's a good chance that they'll just want to migrate over there. So I'm going to have to come up with something else. So, yeah, I was going to put chickens and turkeys over here. I don't know. Be good for goats. Be a great spot for goats. I was thinking of putting a little building here, like a little library or something. That was one thought. I haven't quite decided yet. Be a good spot for some mushroom houses, maybe. With all of this tree coverage, it'd be nice and cool. It's nice and cool over here. Anyway, I'm raking up some of these leaves to use as, get some water in there. What are you? Spider? I don't know. But anyway, not a spider. It's it looks kind of beetle or something. Doesn't have enough legs to be a spider, and it doesn't have the separate body. Anyway, whatever. This tree here, I'm gonna dig it up and move it over to add some more privacy for my neighbor. So yeah, I did a lot of work clearing this area out, and then fucking I don't know what to do with it now. So that's the thing. Oh, looks like we had some trees come down in the storm. There's a tree lying on its side over here. So this area here is full of this stuff. It's staghorn something. It sounds like that stuff that's poisonous. What's that called? Not poison oak, not poison ivy, sumac, staghorn sumac, and it's not poisonous, and it won't give you a rash. A couple trees came down. All right, so this is the hill. So part of the reason, if you want to go into the history of the property, part of the reason why I have been able to come into possession of this, if you follow it all the way back to like, I don't know, the 1980s or something. I used to belong to this family that owns property here, but my neighbor, Brian, who's a cool guy, apparently this used to belong to his grandfather. And this hill here, he was growing marijuana back in the 70s or 80s or something, and this whole hill was covered in marijuana back then. And they must have flown over with a helicopter or something, or like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, look at these flowers. This is new. You're gonna have to go to jail, sir. So anyway, I guess the property, that was when the property came out of the family's possession, and it traded hands a couple times before it came to me. But this was all of that sumac. This whole thing was just all sumac, like it is over there. And I've been and blackberries. I've been clearing it out, you know, getting rid of the sumac. It's not really that useful. I use it for the wattle, and I mostly just feed it to the rabbits, firewood. It grows very quickly, which is why it's so annoying. Like this area here had a bunch of big ones, and it's already like sprouting up. I cleared this already. I left that one tree. These probably just from the stumps. Yeah, these are all just coming out of the stumps. This is 1 year. Look at that. So yeah, so down here at the bottom of the hill, I want to put in like a big 50-foot stage to do like farm aid stuff. I think it would be really cool. And then this hill, I'm going to turn it into an orchard. So we'll have, you know, apples and pears and stuff like that. So this whole hill will be fruit trees. And they'll be nice and spaced out, which means people can just still, you know, sit underneath them and, you know, watch a show or something down there. Maybe we'll have like movie night. Be fun. You know, come see a free movie. Call it Movies on the Mountain. And that brings us over to here, where I haven't cleared a path this way. We're gonna go around. And this is the chicken coop in progress. We've got some roosts. We got some sticks and some 2x4s that they can roost on in here. These are going to be the laying boxes on the side. Entrance is right here for automatic chicken door. These are also here for them to roost on if they want to. Gonna have a big door in the back here so you can go in and you need to take care of something, you can actually climb in there if you have to. And it does, I've been in there, it does hold weight. I was thinking about making some of these as like little sleeping pods. You know, Japanese style sleeping pods. If somebody needs somewhere to sleep and they don't want to do a tent or whatever. Yep, it definitely was a beetle. I just had one land on me. So, this is the cabin. It's still a work in progress. The outside is pretty much finished. We need to put in an awning and a front porch. And we need to build a little extra awning for this window here. Maybe something that'll fold down in the event of a storm. Let's see, do we have any wasps in here? I've had a little problem with that. I don't see any. So yeah, we haven't finished the inside. That's what we're working on right now. The roof, oh, there's one. The roof comes next. Oh, there's another one. So, as you can see, that's the problem right there. That's where the wasps are getting in. I have to do something about that. And the back porch. So, yeah, we did the back porch first. It's a little more important than the front porch. Considering a door opens up to instant death otherwise. Chimney. So yeah, this is really nice and cooled up back here. We're in the forest. I call this this part of the property, I call this Ghostwood, the Ghostwood Forest, which is a Twin Peaks reference because I'm a huge nerd. But you know, it's cool in the summer because all these trees will have leaves, and during the winter they all fall off and it warms up the building. So it really is. It's one of the nicest spots temperature wise on the property, accessible property. Got a lot of fallen wood down here to use for my hugel mounds. Clear that up. That's something I could do today. I'm not going to walk down the ladder with the phone in my hand. That's not a thing. But yeah, so we've got the house is going to run off of DC power, but we're going to have an inverter here for the AC. Just using this battery system for right now, getting a bigger battery and a proper inverter and all that. So this is DC. So anything that can run off of DC, we're running off of DC. So we'll have the lights and the fans. I designed this airflow system. So we're going to put little computer fans down here, and the air comes through there, and it goes up and goes out those holes, kind of like a air conditioning system, pulling cool air from the whatchamacallit, the forest, and drawing it through. And then in the winter we just block those off. If we block off the ports, then you get a circulation effect because the ceiling is sloped like this, so it comes off the stove, rolls up, comes back down, around, and it's moving and warms the room. Golden spiral. Oh, this door's a little tight and the other one's a little loose. That's, hey, it's my first house. Give me a break. Yeah. So yeah, that's been a project. I think in the exterior, if we were just going at it at like a full-time job, probably could have been done in 40 days. It's been over a year since we cleared the trees out and this area and built the supports. It's on stilts, you probably noticed that. Yeah, so we'd have a level surface to work with, because there is no level surfaces in Tennessee. It's a lie. Hello, frog. Let's see. Oh, it's wet down here. So this area here can be a bit of an issue. We definitely need some more rocks and stuff down here, because this road, it's really a stream, a dry stream bed. I don't even have my socks on. I don't want to get my shoes wet. I'm not wearing my boots. So I'm trying to just like fill where I can. This I want to actually dig out a little further and put a bridge across, is the plan. And then this area here, I'm going to dig this out a little more and make a pool over there. And of course, I'm not going to block the water. It's going to keep going. Yeah. We have to put in a bridge. You can see people keep putting stones in here, and they just get washed away. There's a lot of water that comes through here. Like enough to lift these boards up and make them float down river, which is why I have them pegged. Oh look, this is like not even, even with the pegs, this stuff moved big time. Wow, we must have had a heck of a storm while I was at work. Yeah, I don't want to pick it up and move it to get across, so. But once we get the bridge, that opens up the back side of the property and the higher part of Ghostwoods here. So then we can start working on that once we get the bridge in. But Lord knows when that'll be. Lord, send me some Christians. I'll tell you what, Lord, if you help me build that bridge, you give me some Christians down to build a bridge, I will build a church on the other side. Bargaining with the Lord. It works every time, right, folks? So we're gonna build another outhouse here, like a four bay outhouse, because in addition to that cabin, we're also gonna have a small little bunkhouse. So if people come, they got some places that they can stay. Even though I'm building that for myself to live in, that house, you know, if people need it, I can give it up and go back to the camper for a couple of nights. It's not a big deal. I've been living in that camper there for, I don't know, 5 years or something. This is an outhouse. It's a 2-seater. I got a mouse in there. He's been eating my poo. I gotta put out a trap for him because he's starting to get destructive. You know, he was useful at first, taking care of my poo for me, but sorry, buddy, you overstepped your bounds. This is the poo composter, and including throwing in just a bunch of debris and stuff. Oh, let me get this. Am I still zoomed in? No, I'm just close. So even with throwing in debris and stuff, look at 5 years. I barely put any poo in here at all. It's amazing. So anyway, when this thing gets filled to the top, you got to shut it down and then not put anything new in it, and then it's got to sit there for a minimum of 1 year, and then after that you can use it. You wouldn't use it in your garden, that would be disgusting, but you know, if you wanted to, say, add some fertilizer to a tree, it's good for that. Oh, we've come back around the loop again. See, and here is where the other outhouses would be. So, yes, circles. This happens a lot on this property. I designed everything in circles, so you end up going around and around and around again, because it's just as easy to keep going down the circle than it is to turn around and come back. At the current rate, that poo composter, I'm going to be dead before the poo composter fills up. I need to get more people down here. Either that or I got to start pooping more. Already feels like I poop a lot. So yeah, a little parking spot. My outdoor workshop, because I don't have an indoors. Tool shed. And this is where the barn is going to be. So this is a things barn, not an animal barn. So we got workshops can be on that side. In the middle will be, these are the markers right here. In the middle is tractor parking. And then on the left side is going to be storage. And then I won't have crap scattered all over my property. really embarrassing when people come over. Yeah, you know, you get autism and you don't get the one that lets you clean things. What a jip. This is a shower room, replacing this tank here because there was water in it over winter and it froze up and exploded. So, lesson learned. $150 lesson learned. Oh. The well. This is the well. We got electricity panel here. Put in those outlets. Yeah, pump, pretty basic. Runs to the shower, and I'm going to put another spigot on the outside here so you can hook up hoses to it eventually. Right now I just hook them up to the release. It's my apple tree, which I did not plant in a good spot. As much as I don't want to move it, I probably should. It's too wet. Who knew? Who knew if you take apple tree planting advice from someone in Southern California and try to use it in Tennessee, it's completely wrong advice. So anyway, that goes out to the front of the property and the road there. This space I cleared out, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I just keep mowing it, which is kind of a waste. When I do have lots of people over here, multiple vehicles, they can park here, which is really useful. But it seems like it would be better to plant something up here. I don't know what, but it gets really dry over here, and that would mean more irrigation. So look at these flowers. Oh, those daffodils. Hello. Dandelions are great. Rabbits love those. I try to plant those when they get puffballs. I blow them all around the rabbit area so that they're nearby, easy to pick. All right, let's keep going. It's lawnmower, blah, blah, blah. Down the road here, the main drive, or as I like to call it, the Rubber Tramp Byway. Clearing out this area here, and it definitely needs a lot more work. But we're going to put in an RV parking area here is the plan, and that way people with campers can come and park. We're going to have to grade it and all that, but it's close enough to the well house that we can eventually run water and electricity down here. And then they all have basic hookups is the plan. Yeah, that's what we got. I'm gonna cut these trees down, make this area bigger. Gravel is expensive. Can't afford it. Can't afford anything. I work my butt off. I never have enough money. It's terrible. But I gotta focus on things that are emergencies. Come first. If we got an emergency like the well being broken, which I had to redo after that winter freeze, what happened was some animals dug into the back and exposed it to the cold air. So I gotta think about that. Gotta get this barn done. But here's the thing: is this like I need to have the farm itself make money. So all these things that I would build that would make my life easier and more productive, as far as the way the government and businesses work, I can't work on that because I have to figure out ways to be productive and bring in income. And so it's a funny thing, they don't give you no tax deductions unless you're also making income. So so anyway, so that's what we're working on right now. Hopefully we will have products. I can't believe that, calling nature products. We'll have products soon. We're gonna build more of these high bays in here, which allow us to grow more stuff. Yeah. I try to focus on maximizing the areas that I have cleared instead of clearing out more area, because then you just end up with a clear-cut property, and you start losing the soul, you start losing your balance of nature. You're basically turning into an agro farmer at that point. And big agro, which if that's what I wanted to do, I would just buy stock in Monsanto's, man. I'd speculate on grain futures and shit like that. I wouldn't be doing all this work. I'm trying to build something that once it's built has a certain degree of sustainability. Nothing's sustainable forever, but I call this garden here, I call it the Eden Garden. And I know there's a thing called the Back to Eden Garden. That's not what this is. This is like supposed to be like as easy as going to the grocery store. That's the goal here. It's as easy as going to the grocery store, and you just come out here and you grab food and you eat it or sell it or do whatever. And it's like the Garden of Eden. Mankind didn't have to work. Everything was provided. If you were hungry, you ate. If you were tired, you slept. I'll tell you. You ever notice a lot of farmers are into the Bible stuff? That's because there's a lot of stuff in the Bible about farming. It's basically like the first guide to farming, especially the Old Testament. Pastoralism and whatever the other one is. It's been a while. But pre-agricultural farming. Unfortunately, in our day and age, you can't be 100% not agricultural. Yes, I'm looking at you, Mr. Tractor, because our society is not, that doesn't sustain it anymore. Think about somebody dug out a root. That's pretty cool. Think about, like, get philosophical here for a minute. How farms used to be. A farm used to be generational. a guy would start digging, and then, you know, his son, oh, did I leave my power tool out in the storm? Oh, it's moist. Damn, I meant not to do that. I'm building a coal bin over here for this coal. But, you know, we over the course of generations, you know, you would build upon the work of somebody else, of your parents, of your family. You know, that's where the whole monarchy system came into play, because it was the greatest family out of all the families who built the biggest stuff over the centuries. Whereas now our society is completely disconnected from everything, from each other. It's just a system. It's like a computer program, and you just have to put the piece into the piece hole, and next thing you know, you got 1,000 acres of soybeans. Why? Because you get money from the government to plant them. Who the hell knows, man? I don't get it. Here's a question. If soy is so cheap, then how come all the vegan products are so damn expensive? Why is meat cheaper than vegetables? Right? What is up with that? Why? And yet somehow also the soybean oil that's in all our food is apparently cheap for the industries and the businesses and the factory foods. Yet if I want to go down and buy, you know, some soy burger and have a soy burger, it's like 4 times as much as the meat. What in the heck is up with that? It's crazy. Crazy. I had to cut this tree down. So it was already getting knocked over because of the weather. But yeah, I'm doing beds all along the outside. It goes on, the road goes ever on and on, my friend. I think that's the end of the video. I don't know what else to say. That's Kannaydia Farms today. I didn't show you the sign out front, but oh my God, I've been doing this for almost an hour. All right, well, if you made it to this part of the video, congrats. You're super duper, and I love you. Please subscribe, like, blah, 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 blah for the next one.